All right, guys. Theme number 1 is officially done. Moving on to theme number 2. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Well, today there are several things I want to talk to you about. I'm going to teach you how to make a new block. Maybe you've made it before. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you made it years ago and would like to be reminded of how much fun this block is. But as I was thinking about what I wanted to do today, I thought, I don't know about you, but one of my favorite blocks of all time is the pinwheel. Okay, the pinwheel. But today is a different take on a pinwheel, and it's called the Whirligig block. Are you familiar with the Whirligig block? What is a Whirligig? Some of you may be asking. Does anyone know? Well, a Whirligig looks something. I grabbed a few pictures offline. That's the Whirligig block we're talking about. And so it's a different take on a pinwheel. And it is so much fun. The nice thing is there's really not a ton of matching involved. It's very simple to make. And the results are super, super cute. So there's one picture. Here's another one that I did. Or that I grabbed. Look how fun that color combination is. Okay. And you can do this technique with anything. Okay. With any size block. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. You guys excited? So this is the Whirligig block. So let's head on over to where the sewing machine is. Okay, come on over here. And let's do this. All righty. Put these things away. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Okay, so this is my example here, and I decided in honor of our stash builder day today, I would do it in solids. So here's a couple different versions where this one I did I chose 2 colors of solids, and it's a darker and a lighter green, and all the pinwheels are the same. This one I changed up the colors and I used 3 different colors, and the background is all white. So I'll show you how easy it is to make this block. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, well, hold on. You would think I am in the sewing space that I would have a rotary cutter, and I'm not seeing it. So hold on a quick second. Let me come out here and grab my rotary cutter, and we'll just chit-chat for a minute. I have no rotary cutter out here. There we go. All right. Say hi, Jacob. He just got done with school. All righty. Let's do this. S says MGQS green. Hey, there you go. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. It's like girlfriend green. Okay, so see in there. All right. What you're going to do is I'm going to start out with 5-inch blocks, but they can be any size you want. You can make them smaller, you can make them bigger, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to start out with a light green and a dark green and 2 of my background pieces. So I'm going to grab 2 whites. All right, so you need 4 of these. All right, 2 backgrounds, light green and dark green. And I took these from our stash builder today, which is our bundles. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so what you'll do is actually stack them on top of one another 1, 2, 3, 4, all right sides up, although these are solid, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to place this on my cutting mat, and I don't know how well you can tell, but I'm looking at 2 inches from the top and of the top left hand, and then 2 inches from the bottom right hand. Now, if you wanted to, you could place a little marking pin at the 2 inches and at the 2 inches, but I'm just going to go ahead and take my ruler and let's see, 1, 2, I'll place it up there, and 1, 2, and I'm going to place this down here. Do you see how I've created a line? But it's kind of a wonky line. I'm not cutting these directly in half. Again, these start at 5 inches. I'm going in 2 inches from this way and 2 inches that way, so it's not exactly half, okay? Any questions about that so far? Okay, here we go. So I've got 2 inches, 2 inches. My ruler is at an angle. And now I'm just going to cut through all 4 layers. There we go, and there we go. Do you see how they're at an angle? So there is a smaller end and a larger end. So what I need to do is I'm going to now pair these up. So I'll find one to go here. I'm going to match those together, and I will match these 2 together. And here's another pair and my final pair. Does everyone see that? So you've got a small end and a large end. There we go. All right. So now, once you have those, you're just going to pair them together. So I'm going to flip this over, right sides together. Now, one thing to remember is that when you are stitching, you want to, in lining this up, you do not actually want to do tip to tip. Whenever you sew at an angle, you actually want to extend that just a titch, okay, just a little bit over that. If I were to sew directly from tip to tip, what ends up happening is because that is set up, that goes in a 1/4 inch, this is actually going to fall far below the top. So there's a little tip for you. When you are sewing at an angle, actually overlap this by just a titch, okay? And then you can see that there's a little bit of white hanging out from the bottom. That's what I want. And now I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch. So let's come over here to where my sewing machine is. There we go. And oops, I'm going to set this up at a 1/4 inch. There we go. And now I'll begin to sew. Okay. I'll grab another pair. I'm just going to chain piece these. Chain, 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 chain. You knew I was going to sing that, right? All right, and one more. Okay, I was right here. I'm going to just flip this over, have it extend just a titch. There we go. On that side and that side. And there we have it. Okay. All right. So let me just cut that chain apart. All righty. So now that that is done, come over here to my ironing station. And I'm going to press these open. I'm going to press them towards the dark. Remember, always set your seam with your iron first. and then you'll press it towards the dark. Pull that open. And the last one. And there we go. Okay. Kind of hot. Okay, now the next thing I want you to know, let me bring this back over here to the cutting area. Because we only sewed it one seam down, this actually makes a rectangle. Am I right? You can see that, correct? That this is not a perfect square, and we need it to be a perfect square. So I'm going to trim it up to a perfect square right now because we started out at 5, we cut it at an angle, we put a seam in there, and now this is still 4.5 inches because, this is 4.5 inches, I should say, because we've got a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch. So that's 4.5 inches where this is still 5. So what you need to do before you put it into the pinwheel is you need to cut it down, trim it, so that it ends up being 4.5 inches. So this now becomes a 4.5 inch square. So I'll just use my ruler to do that. I'm there at the 4.5 inch mark. And now you can see I have a perfect square. See, that's different than the rectangle. You can visually see that, right? Okay, so what you want is you want those to be squares. And this one's just a little off. Let's see. Oops. I was at a weird angle. Let me stand up. And then you can trim it up to be 4.5. Okay, so there we go. And this one, just do a little trim there, and 4.5. And one more. That looks good on that side, so all I have to do is trim it to 4.5. Okay, easy, right? So now that all 4 squares are at 4.5, now I'm going to put it in the shape of a pinwheel, just like what we would do with a normal pinwheel. And it's like putting together a puzzle. And there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, can you all see that? Okay. So just like that and like that. This is such a fun block, you guys. If you've never made this before, give it a try. Even today, give it a try. Pull out 4 5-inch squares and just say, you know what, I'm going to try that because it looked so easy and so fun. And I promise you're going to be hooked. Okay, so let me bring these over to my little sewing table. Sorry, hope I'm not making you dizzy. All right, let's go right there. And I'll sew these together. Now all we're doing is we're creating a 4-patch. And I'll put these 2 together. Okay, so I have to have the seams go in opposite directions, so I'll just go ahead and finger press this for time's sake. And I'll do the opposite one in the opposite direction. See, when you have one seam go one direction and the other seam go the other direction, then that's how you get those seams to butt up against one another. There we go. And they will nestle right in with one another so that you'll have a perfect center. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And you can see just how quickly this block comes together. And there you go. Woohoo! Perfection. There we go. Look at that center. Boom. Pretty sweet, right? And so then you just press that out, and now you have a cute whirligig. The whirligig block. Gotta love it. Okay, look how cute. Look how much fun these would be. Just a whole bunch of them. What a great thing to do with your stash or whatever it might be. Now, tomorrow, here's a little heads up of what I'm going to be showing tomorrow. I'm going to teach you how to turn this block into a shamrock. Woo woo. So that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. Okay. Same block, but now we're going to turn it into a shamrock, and I'll show you how that's done. Okay. All right. Boom. Whew. Hi, rosy cheeks. Do I have rosy cheeks? Might be the sun or the light. I don't know. All right. Yeah, Jean asked if you use 10-inch squares, would you still do a 10-inch cut in the beginning? No, Jean, I would probably go a little bit deeper. So I would do, maybe with a 10-inch block, I would go 4 inches in. You know, you can definitely just try and see where, you know, what angle. I mean, there's no right or wrong. It's whatever angle you want it to be, right? So play around and see if you've got some things that you think would work. I'm fancy today, Terry says. It's because I'm not wearing a sweatshirt today. Usually I'm in a sweatshirt and a hoodie. Today I thought I'd get dressed up a little bit, you know. All right. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Jill. Let's see. Larry says he's made one before, but not on purpose. Couldn't resist. It's a great block to do. Oh, that's cute. Let's see. Doesn't matter which side you cut, Linda is asking. I would put all of my fabrics right side up. So you're just going to stack them, do right sides up. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you guys are so nice. Sing it, Kris. There we go. Just looking through any other questions. Haven't heard titch for a long time. Yeah, it's just a titch, just a titch. Oh, yeah, where's that 60mm pizza cutter? You're right, Larry. There we go. Yeah, if it were a 6-inch block, I'd probably go 2.5. Yeah, Dee, I probably would. You just want to go a little bit less than the half mark. If you went the half mark, it would just be there. You wouldn't have any angle, right? So you can kind of play around with it. It's kind of like a stack and whack, and you can play around with it. And then if you want to go like more of a, this is a very gentle angle, wouldn't you agree? Very gentle. But it has a great effect. If you went too much, then it's really, you know, it's going to be a lot more dramatic, I should say. But this really is a fun block to do. And again, scraps or whatever, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. I guarantee it. So, all right. Linda has a great question. When you trim, does it matter which side you cut to trim? No, it doesn't. Not with this block. So you just want to, you know, sometimes you saw me like on a couple of them, I had to trim both sides, and a couple of them were just fine. I just had to trim the one side. So again, whatever size it ends up being going across, you're going to do it, you know, the same size. Have to watch the replay. Very choppy for Sandy. Oh, I hope I'm not too choppy today. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah.